Howdy, folks. This is Matt, the solo gamer, and as you can see, we're currently having some fun with Star Trek Online again, doing the daily grind-a-thon. Just did the event, now I'm looking to do my daily endeavors, and let's see, there you are. And as you may notice, I've switched my ship around a bit. I'm currently piloting the Invasion, which, for those not familiar, this is a ship from Star Trek Invasion, which, per the purposes of my usage, is a game, but it's also like been books and all of the kind of stuff and stories and episodes and all kinds of junk. So it's kind of like that. But this ship was the primary ship in the Invasion game series, and also like super
Listen up. The war has not been going well for the Federation, and the Klingons are advancing to our position. We need to...
But it was one of those things where I think this is definitely one of those ships that was different from most of Star Trek. For one, it's a carrier ship. For two, it has fairly limited
Here they come.
diplomatic assignments. So it's straight up a pure combat vessel designed to fight. And I designed her to essentially be a floating war crime. Entire fleets of drones, swarmers, and defensive units, laser cannons, beam weaponry, torpedoes, a Tychen Rift generator. Basically, once I turn this girl loose, she will basically tear through everything in her path. She's not as powerful independently, but with the entire fleet of fighter craft backing her up, she'll rip through the vast majority of the enemy forces on her own. And you can see my little fireflies just dancing around, tearing through all the bad guys. See? Everywhere and anywhere, they are always there. Yeah, that's like this thing's... I remember playing the game this thing came from and enjoying it a lot, so when I saw that it was available at a massive discount, I put a few bucks in to get it. But yeah, like the Typhon is just... You want to make the entire screen a absolute goth light show? Here you go. And I've equipped her pretty well. Like, most of her gear is self-contained, but I've given her quite a bit of firepower, so she's handling herself quite adeptly. Between some powerful cannons for shield breakage and beams for hull damage, plus the constant fleet of fighter craft backing her up, I more or less can hold my own against 90% of the enemy forces just on my own accord. The only real issue with her is, for something as small as it is, it turns fairly slow. It's fast compared to my dreadnoughts, but
time before more arrive. Reading some heavier ships incoming. Raiders and battle.
it still makes zero difference because this ship will just literally tear through all of it. And you do not notice like all the phaser and firepower coming around me. Those are the little fighter craft. Like they aren't equipped with special weapons, but there's so much raw firepower around them. They'll tear through everything in their path on their own. It's pretty effective, actually. Another great thing is they're really good for large-scale battles and defense missions, because they can swarm around and cause distractions and diversions while you fly around laying out firepower with your weapon. I call this build the frame rate killer because when there's so much on screen at times, the frame rate can get a little choppy. Still, the PS5 runs it smooth and nice, so I don't complain. There's times where I can't tell if it's frame rate stutter or screen shake because there's so much shit happening.
This is Andor. Our shields are taking hits, and we could use an escort.
Yeah, we're moving into hell. Hang on.
An evacuation ship is launching. Give them cover. Klingons are regrouping again. Get into position to prepare for the next assault. Here come the Klingon battleships. Keep fighting!
And there goes my swarm, just like rushing in and just laying out walls of firepower.
Requesting assistance. We're in trouble.
We got you covered, don't worry. And I've also given her some good shielding and engineering equipment, which makes her pretty tough. Like, not super indestructible, but she can handle a beating, so long as it's not like 10 on 1. The biggest issue with her is just that you can't ever stop. You can't ever slow down, because she's simply just not going to sustain, constant volley fire. And she's fast enough to where you can take advantage of it, so just keep moving. See what I mean? Like once I'm in a fight between me and the fighters, we turn even the biggest target into shrapnel, because it cannot sustain that kind of damage.
Roosevelt is in need of aid. Can you draw off some of those enemy ships?
Alright, we're out. But yeah, like I said, This ship is one of my newer ones, and she's a beast in a fleet battle because she's designed for that kind of fight. Whereas some of my other ships are more designed towards one-on-one operations or exploration, like the Lucari. The APU cruiser is designed as a sort of midliner where it can sort of bounce around and fight different enemies. But then you've got the Remembrance, which is just classic. You got the Starstorm, which is my Defiant, and then you've got the Liberation. Which, if it looks familiar, that means you're a true Star Trek fan because you recognize it as both Hugh's ship from Star Trek Next Generation. You also recognize it as the multi-connect neutronic mine from Star Trek Voyager, Scorpion, Episode Part 2. And yes, this bad boy is as mean as it looks. What were my other endeavors today? Ah, the battle zone. Okay. I know where to go for that. And this ship's particular thing is firepower. She packs a ridiculous amount of sheer overwhelming force. She also has a very powerful array of different weaponry. And most notably, she's got a balanced weapons loadout. As you can see, she's got a combination of cannons, torps, and beams. What makes her efficient, or what makes her effective, is that she can go into a fight by herself and more or less outmatch anything in a one-on-one brawl. So if you need a big target taken down, she's your girl. I forgot to set my crafting for the day. I'm trying to speed run these to level 15 to open up more slots. Get some of the most more powerful weapon loadouts arranged so I can have a more varied weapon set, but I'm just doing a quick little fight or two to take out some enemy ships and then get my scorer, and then I'm out. But I love this ship, man. I thought it'd be cool to show how she handles in a bit of a brawl. Now you'll notice that she can fire just at any angle, hit from almost any direction, and has enough firepower that she can basically fight 4 targets at once and keep winning. Between her impressive shielding, defensive adaptations, and heavy weapons loadout, I basically just use her as a flying bulldozer Let her tear
Watch
everything
out.
to pieces.
Terra Nebula-class science vessel will use repulsor to keep you away from the satellite.
Yeah, I'm not really actually interested to fight in this battle zone because I give a crap. Oh, there goes the heavy beam overload. Unlike some of my other ships, which were designed for like more directly specialized combat, this ship is
The device
designed
is active. Stay within
way
3
more
kilometers
towards,
and start
say,
shutting it down.
directed fight. And if I'm being pursued by something, I can easily just deploy my plasma field, which will keep the enemies off me while I'm coming back around for another fight. Nebula-class science vessel. Really? Let's give it a good old 1-2-1-2 volley barrage. And let's... Ooh. Oh, yeah, I see that plasma damage is hitting it. That's 4 ships down. I just need number 5. Activate my boosters. Come back around and finish the job. Time trigger should be dead in seconds. Yep, dead. And I'm done. Now I'm going to drop my plasma, head outbound to get away from it as fast as I can. Because I don't want to stick around for this fight. I'm just here to get the Endeavor and then out. Leave them for the plasma storms. Powering up the engines, prepare to depart. And we're free. See, I do love that you can actually like get into a shuttlecraft if you want, and do like different stuff if you like. Let's check the inventory. Yeah, there they are. Grab these endeavor bonuses and do that. And then just, scrap what I don't need. 'Cause honestly, I'm mostly just right now trying to get as much material and resources as I can, because I eventually want to buy a Ferengi Marauder, a Decora, which I can't get right now because they're not in the box, but you can buy them from other players on other systems, so I'm going to try and do that. Ambush turned. replace the anti-proton leash. I never did like it. One thing I do constantly is I constantly switch out my gear, equipment, and ships. You know, keep things interesting, keep things entertaining. One of my favorites is the Lomaki Raider. I joke that it's the most Star Wars of all the ships in Star Trek. Like, seriously, look at this thing. Let's get that camera zoomed in. Yeah, I mean, seriously, look at this thing. That is the most Star Wars of Star Wars that Star Trek has ever created. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I saw this in a Star Wars movie just literally ripped off. Now, this ship, to its credit, is not as powerful as some of my other ships. Like, it can handle itself, don't get me wrong. But its maneuverability is the thing that makes it super good. But anyway, I think I'm going to call it here for the night. There's 2 videos I recorded back to back, so I think I've done enough damage to my throat today. But yeah, I definitely think that I'm definitely getting more into the new storyline for Star Trek involving the Borg and these new Etherians and everything. I might one day do a full playthrough of the storyline, but for now, I think we'll call it here. Hopefully see you next time. This is the Solo Gamer. You may call me Matt. Take care.